Hi, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about Garrett Morgan for the Black History Fact of today. He was an innovator, he was an activist, and really essentially an entrepreneur and a great businessman. Let's get into some of the facts and let's talk about some of the inventions and some of the patents that he established and he found. Okay, so his full name is Garrett Augustus Morgan. He was born March 4th, 1877, and he died July 27th, 1963. His birthplace was Paris, Kentucky. His spouses was Mage Nelson and Mary Hask, if I'm saying that right. And he had children, John, Garrett, and Cosmo. Oh, that's a cute name, Cosmo. And he was a Pisces. So he was born in Paris, Kentucky on March 4th, 1877. He was the seventh child out of 11 children. His mother, Elizabeth Reed, was of Indian and African descent and the daughter of a Baptist minister. And his father, Sidney, was a formerly enslaved man freed in 1863 and was the son of John Hutt Morgan, a Confederate colonel. Okay. I'm sorry, Colonel. Let's get into it. Okay, so Morgan was mixed race heritage will play a part in his business dealings as an adult. Okay, when Morgan was in his mid-teens, he moved to Cincinnati to look for work and found it as a handyman to a wealthy landowner. Although he only completed an elementary school education, Morgan paid for more lessons from a private tutor. Jobs at several sewing machine factories soon captured his imagination and helped determine his future. So, some of his inventions consist of the traffic light, a early gas mask, and more. Okay? One of Morgan's first inventions involved the sewing machine. After learning the inner workings of the machines and how to fix them at his factory jobs, Morgan obtained a patent for an improved sewing machine and opened his own repair business. Morgan's business was a success. It enabled him to marry his second wife and establish himself in Cleveland. Following the momentum of his business success, Morgan's patent sewing machine soon paved the way to his financial freedom. Okay. He also created a hair straightener serum. So in 1909, Morgan was working with sewing machines in his newly opened tailoring shop, a business he had opened with Mary, who had experience as a seamstress. When he encountered a woolen fabric that had been scorched by a sewing machine needle, it was a common problem at the time since sewing machine needles ran at such high speeds. In hopes of alleviating the problem, Morgan experimented with a chemical solution in an effort to reduce friction created by the needle, and he noticed that the hairs of the cloth were straightening. Okay. After trying his solution to good effect on a neighboring dog's fur, Morgan finally tested the concoction on himself. When that worked, he quickly established the G.A. Morgan Hair Refining Company and sold the cream to African Americans. The company was incredibly successful, bringing Morgan's financial security and allowing him to pursue other interests. Okay. Now, he also created a safety hood, which was the precursor to the World War I gas mask. So in 1914, Morgan patented a breathing device or safety hood, providing its wearers with a safer breathing experience in the presence of smoke, gases, and other pollutants. Morgan worked hard to market the device, especially to the fire department. Often personally demonstrating its reliability in fires, Morgan's breathing device became the prototype and precursor for the gas mask used during World War I, protecting soldiers from toxic gas used in warfare. The invention earned him the first prize at the Second International Exposition of Safety and Sanitation in New York City. There was some resistance to Morgan's device among buyers, particularly in the South, where racial tensions remained. Despite advancements in the civil rights for Black Americans, in an effort to counteract the resistance of his products, Morgan hired a white actor to pose as the inventor. During presentations of his breathing device, Morgan then posed as the inventor's sidekick, disguised as a Native American named Big Chief Mason. Wearing his hood, Morgan entered areas otherwise unsafe for breathing. The tactic was successful. Sales of the device were quick to materialize, especially with firefighters and rescue workers. That's crazy. He had to disguise himself, but that also is very brilliant, very smart. Okay, the next thing is the traffic light. Okay. Ooh, he didn't just stop at the gas mask design. He also was very big on fixing problems. So he turned his attention to all kinds of things, from hats to belt fasteners to car parts. The first black man in Cleveland to own a car, Morgan worked on his mechanical skills and developed a friction drive clutch. Okay, so in 1923, he created a new kind of traffic signal, one with a warning light to alert drivers they would need to stop. He invented the device after witnessing a carriage accident in a particularly problematic intersection in Cleveland. Morgan quickly acquired patents for his traffic signal, um, a, a a version of the modern three-way traffic light in the United States, Britain, and Canada, but eventually sold the rights to General Electric for $40,000. Okay. Despite poor health in his later years, Morgan continued work on inventions. His last was a self-extinguishing cigarette that had a water-filled plastic pellet placed just before the filter. Child, did he create a vape? Anyways, that is just some information on him. Look him up. He has an incredible story, and make sure your children know about him, especially black children know about him, and also people of color, and everyone. Honestly, every race. But especially black people, because they don't teach us our history. All right, but that is your Black History Fact of today.